Guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you know, we got the 69 ZL1 running. Just filled her up with C12 from Bellman Oil, and we're gonna go take this thing for a spin. First drive. Still got the small tank in it, so I'm not gonna drive it far, and I still got the Firestone wide ovals on it because don't have anything else to put on it right now. So grab a couple cameras, put them in the car, and then we're gonna go take this thing for a spin. Guys, tried to get you an in-car view of that test drive, but that camera decided it wasn't going to work. Just took this thing on its first drive. Did good. Caught on fire. We got it out. Had a rag laying on the header. I thought I smelled something, but I thought it was the headers burning the coating off. Ended up being a rag on fire. Rolling about 55 miles an hour and he's stomping. It just annihilates the rear tires. We did think we had an oil pressure issue. I had to actually change the oil pressure sensor in the computer. I put a 0 to 200 PSI sensor in this thing because the guy we got it from said that it had high oil pressure, like would peg his 100 PSI gauge. So I did that, and then I forgot to actually change that in the computer. So when I rolled back here, I only had 40 PSI at wide open throttle, and I had like 8 PSI at idle, which is not good, but got that switched out. I revved it up, and just sitting here idling and revving it, we saw 60 PSI oil pressure. So gonna go ahead and put this thing on the dyno and see what kind of numbers we can get out of it. We have this thing on the dyno and ready to make some pulls. This thing actually made the best of 730. I ought to bring it up here. It'll be interesting to see what this motor will make. I know we made, like, that's when we started changing converters and stuff, and we ended up making 754, but that is kind of tricking the dyno, as we've learned, with a real tight converter. A real tight converter will make numbers on the dyno, but won't make numbers on the racetrack. It'll mile an hour okay, but it won't go down the racetrack very good. So I did take a lot of notes here. So I got that's when I tried a vacuum secondary. Let's see what else we got here. I'm pretty sure I made like 735. That was 730, 733. There's 740. So 730, 740. There we go. New engine. Get 'em carb, which we ran a get 'em carb on this thing. 13.9, 14.0, which is freaking lean. Made 736. So we'll pretty much use that 735, 736, somewhere on there as a baseline. I don't know if this thing's gonna make that much, but it might. But this thing's probably gonna perform better on the racetrack because we're gonna put drag radials on it. I got some sitting over there. This thing made 870 to the flywheel. Our other motor made 910 to the flywheel. So they're actually fairly close. So I expect to see somewhere around 690, 700 in this thing, which should be every bit of a 9-second pass fairly easily. So we're gonna go ahead, jump in this thing, warm it up, and then make our first pull. All right, first pull on this thing. We are at 33 degrees of timing. I pulled a couple out since I drove it yesterday. I'm at 35 in it, so back it down to 33, just see where we're at, see where their fuels are. I probably won't run it up to like 75. I don't know. We'll see how it feels. But yeah, see how this goes. It's down to 124 degrees right now. Don't have to turn on a vacuum pump, don't have to do anything, but get it in high gear and hit the skinny pedal. So let's see what this thing makes. Not bad. I'm actually really happy with that. I forgot I moved the limiter down to 7,500, so I couldn't even get it to 75. But it just made 706 horsepower on 33 degrees of timing. I like that. And we're back to, see, this is what gave us fits all last year when we were trying to figure out what's going on. See how it, like, peak power's there at about 65, 6,600. That's not actual peak power. That's just the converter lying to you. Don't exactly know why. I can't explain why. Pete from Circle D explained it to me one day, and it was way over my head. I'm not that smart. So this thing's making 706 horsepower though, 33 degrees of timing. Had about a 12.2, 12.3 air fuel. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna let it cool down, throw a few more degrees in it, and see what happens. Well, you know what that means. 708, so we picked up a couple horsepower with 2 degrees of timing. It's not worth that, so we'll end up going back to 33 and probably leaving it there. I'm gonna pull a log. Well, we had about a 12.5, 12.6 air fuel. So I'm good with that. It's only getting 95% throttle. That's all I can get out of this thing. I've adjusted it a bunch. Not a big deal. But yeah, I'm thinking we might put some tires on this thing and drive it. I'm not going to push it anymore on the dyno. I'll pull that 2 degrees out and have fun with it at 33 degrees. And so yeah, I'm not going to probably make any more dyno pulls because it didn't like that. So, I mean, it liked it for a couple horsepower. It's not even worth it. So I'm going to put 33 degrees back in this thing, and I'm probably done dynoing it. Alright guys, we made the trip up here to 131 Motorsports Park, having the fast event. Put a camera on it real quick, and we're going to take it down the track for the first time and see how it runs. I think I'm just going to leave right off the two-step, leave everything the way it was, and see how it does. I haven't driven this thing in a long time. It's weird. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have this thing back out. We'll see how she runs. I think we rolled a sprag in this tranny. It's got no second gear. So it's already got to come apart. So why not try it and see what it runs? Oh, I might leave on a two-step again. I don't know.
I thought the tranny was out.
It is. I'm gonna go first to third in this thing and see what happens. The hood's gonna need hood pins. It definitely just popped up. That actually felt really strong. Thank you. Oh, check that out. 947, 142. 60 foot. That's only first to third gear. That's awesome. Got the Camaro back in the shop, and we've learned a few things that we need to fix after this weekend. First, as you can see, this thing needs some front springs put in it. The front end has fallen way too low, and it's actually got the control arm almost hitting the header. So got to put some springs in this thing. Second, I'm going to get rid of the column shifter. I'm not like getting rid of it. I'm just going to pull it off and then put a console shifter in it. I love the column shifter. Love the looks of it. Love the reaction I get when everybody says, oh, dang, this thing still got a column shifter. But I hate shifting it. And I've tried now 3 different ways to make this thing work and work accurate and work good. And I've failed all 3 times. So I'm going to put a console in it, factory console, factory shifter, and we're gonna see how that works. The factory style shifter and console doesn't work. I will resort to a Hurst quarter stick. That is my personal favorite shifter. Super simple, super accurate, works every time. But for now, we're still gonna try to keep the factory look in this thing and put a factory shifter in it. The column shifter just is not getting it done. I think this thing rolled a sprag and it has no second gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the tranny out of it. But for right now, we're gonna actually wrap this video up. Not a bad first outing with the Camaro. Super happy with what it ran with only first and third gear. Almost like driving a Power Glide. It's got a 210 first gear ratio instead of like a 180 for a Power Glide. But fix the front springs, actually get second gear, then we can dial in the suspension, which I never even saw a video yet as I'm filming this of this car leaving the starting line. I do know I felt the front end pretty much like top out, so I know the front end needs to be tighter. We're gonna get this thing dialed in, hoping to go faster than that 940 we went, and make this thing a fun street car. But that's gonna wrap this video up. Be sure to head to hpdepot.com, get yourself some t-shirts. These 2 right here on one t-shirt. The other t-shirt's got the 67 on it, but that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.